Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders, and welcome to episode 146 of the Legion Outriders podcast. I'm your host, Outrider Matt, and with me today is my main man, Dan. How's it going, dude?
The main man.
The main man. The man with a plan. That's right.
Yeah. So lots of fun stuff on the docket.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. But before we get started, we'd like to take a second to say thank you to our patrons that make recording and publishing this show possible. That costs money. No, really, it does. If you'd like to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Legion Outriders. On today's show, well, we got some news.
Yeah, I mean, we're still saving up for that Galactic Star Cruiser trip right now, right?
It seems like the cruiser is sailing on without us.
No, I mean, they are dropping the prices because
they are, yeah. I guess they were trying to...
Or not dropping prices, sorry, but the bookings are a lot less, so they're offering deals to
right, for people
Vacation
that can go
Club
short notice, that kind of thing. Yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
anyway.
we've got some Disney news. We've got some Star Wars news.
Big shakeups in Disney.
Yeah, we've got some Legion news, and then we've actually got our first official Outrider tier list for Empire, HQs, and Operatives. So I can't wait to talk about that because I haven't seen it, so I'm going to be reacting. And I'll be shocked and outraged for everybody out there.
Oh, yes. So everyone make sure you tell me how we're wrong.
Yes, of course, because this is an absolutely factual list and cannot be disputed.
Yeah, it's scientifically proven.
Now, if we had Jeff with the calipers out there to do it.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, so what do we got in the news today, Mr. Dan?
Well, the biggest shakeup in Disney in a while, just literally over a weekend. Mm-hmm. It was announced that former CEO Bob Chapek has stepped down, which is, corporate speak for fired.
Yes. Well, I don't think the
official thing was step down.
He stepped down. Okay. Well.
Yeah. And the
defenestrated, I guess, doesn't sound as well.
Yeah. And the previous CEO, Bob Iger, somehow Iger returns.
That's, I gotta say, when I initially heard that, I was like, oh, cool, I liked Iger. Chapek hasn't really been doing it for me.
I mean,
there's been some choices made.
Yeah.
But then a tinfoil hat appeared.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was like, oh, so we're going to spend the next 3 hours talking about what Disney had to gain by having all of its bad press stuff get tacked onto Chapek, and then suddenly Iger comes in to save the day.
I mean, longtime listeners probably have figured out now I subscribe to a few of the more conspiracy theory Hollywood.
You do. I know, that's what I'm for.
The moviepoopshoot.com
yes.
kind of angle on Hollywood politics and whatnot. So yes, it is my personal opinion that Chapek was a fall guy, but
the sacrificial goat.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because a lot of things that Disney's doing and were things
Some
originally started by Iger before he left, because the how length of time it takes for things to happen in both that industry and in the miniatures too. Like, we all know it takes 2 years for them to design something. Well, it takes a little more than 2 years for them to make a movie. So,
but I'd like to announce that we've reached out to the Bobs, and we're going to see if we can have them on the show so we can discuss this. And I expect to hear back any moment now.
Yeah.
You're going to have to excuse me. I got a meeting with the Bobs.
Yes.
So.
But no, yes, Chapek, if anyone is, sad for Chapek, he did get a, $20 million golden parachute.
Yeah, he just re-upped his, like another 3-year contract, too,
and then
in June, is what I saw. But
of course, this was following the official statement is it's following a very bad investor call where it was Chapek had to tell everyone how down things were at the moment. So,
well. What else you got? Something on better news?
Something on better news. Let's go back to Star Wars.
Yay!
How was the Andor? Man, the end of Andor was amazing.
Mandor.
Mandor. I never cheered so hard for a brick.
Yeah.
No spoilers,
Spend
but
some FaceTime with Sweet Lady Brick.
Yes. But since season 1 has wrapped, season 2 has been announced for 2024. So yes, we have to wait 2 years. 2 long,
man.
arduous years.
I guess we'll just have to keep rewatching it.
Yeah, and then go back to Rogue One because we have to figure out where this all connects. Because it is set to pick up 1 year after season 1 ends. Season 2, that is.
Oh, okay,
and,
good. Little time jump.
Yep, and
Suddenly K2SO is here.
I mean, I hope they do that, but they did do that initial meeting in a comic, and well, I mean, Disney's track record with just overwriting comics and other books. They do. Yeah. Anyway, but supposedly season 2 should end right into the beginning of Rogue One. At least that was previously announced.
Right.
Back in the day. So, looking forward to that. But sooner to be released.
But real quick before we move on, I just noticed that Andor was released to Hulu.
Oh yes, so
first
they did
2 episodes.
First
on
2
Hulu
episodes
right
actually on quite a few networks.
Oh really?
Wow. It was Hulu. I did not write down the list, but no, it was not just Hulu, but there were a couple other.
Okay. Hulu made sense because it's owned by Disney, but I was still surprised to see it out in the wild. But wow, I didn't know it went to other networks.
Yeah, the speculation was to try and drum up more because unfortunately Nielsen ratings weren't that high for Andor, even though it was an amazing product. It didn't gather much.
Yeah, no, get some exposure for it.
And,
yeah. Let people check it out and say, hey, look, we can do really good, suspense dramas too.
Yeah. So, of course, amazing show, in my opinion, one of the best pieces of Star Wars media in a very, very long time.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's brilliant.
But more recently, Bad Batch Season 2 is the next show coming up. It's going to be on January 4th, so right around the corner.
Okay, yeah, not too far.
But then after that, Mando Season 3.
Yay!
Previously announced to be February of next year, but has an official date now of March 1st. So they pushed it out by a day.
Yay. All right.
So yeah, that's in the can, ready and all lined up. So right after Bad Batch ends, we should be getting, or there might be a little overlap. I'll have to double check that release schedule. Other than that, other Lucasfilm news: the Indiana Jones 5 trailer.
I still haven't seen it.
I was just about to ask.
I still haven't seen it. It came out and I was like, oh gosh, I got to go do that. And then I've just been not watching the trailers.
Should I not spoil the title then?
No, I heard the title already.
Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Exactly. So, yes, again, conspiracy theory-wise, hopefully they've used this year to kind of clean up all the stuff we've heard.
Yes,
but anyway.
Yes.
We'll see. I mean, Harrison Ford has a history of wanting his characters killed off, so let's see if...
One time.
And then Willow started up.
Yes, it did. First 2 episodes.
I have not seen the first 2 yet. I'm trying to rope the lady friend into that. So
okay,
so we can watch it together. Have you watched it?
Yeah, yeah. Holly and I watched it the other night, and I liked it.
I've seen some mixed reviews online, but
I liked it. Yeah, it was fine.
Nice.
Nice little sword and sorcery hack and slash with some callbacks to the movie. So I'm digging it.
How important is it to refamiliarize yourself with the movie before watching?
I mean, if you know the major players, that's kind of all you need. So, do you remember?
It's been decades since I went. I might have to.
You remember Pillow, of course.
Yes.
And Pad Mardigan.
So yeah, that is on my to watch list, but I haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah. Bavarian's daughter, Sasha, right? Anyways, I like it a lot. I'm waiting for more episodes. So
yeah, I got a game in.
Yes,
you got to watch a game.
I got to watch a game. Yeah, we were supposed to have a couple of people over, but actually it ended up working out. One person flaked out, so we had 3, and it turns out I thought I had enough to do 2 tables, and I did not. So we only had the 1 table set up, which was fine because you and Jeff got to play.
Yeah, so good to face off against Jeff again. Although, he plays those dirty rebel terrorists.
Those heroes. Can I have you read this manifesto?
Yes.
I think you'll find it quite radical.
Yep. So Jeff had Echo-based defenders.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Actually, the full-on Echo base.
4 FD cannons.
4 FD cannons.
2 Vets, 2 Mark IIs. With a airspeeder.
Yeah, T-47 out there, making me proud.
And it was 3 Vets and 2 Mark IIs.
Yes, yeah, I think
And
that's
then
right.
generic officer as commander. So
Yeah.
11 activations. Got a little spicy because
Tell us about your list,
my list.
Dan.
Yes, so my list. Thanks to the horrible, how say I, comedy of errors that was Din and Bobo, my previous game. I tried. You mentioned before how you were disappointed at me not running the BroBots, so I brought the BroBots out.
Yay, BroBots,
Yep.
and everything was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. Okay, so
IG-11 and IG-88 alongside Iden, a generic officer. One Inferno Squad, one Shore, one Mortar, and one T-21 Stormtrooper Squad. So 10 activations for me.
wow, okay, that's a fair amount.
Yeah.
How many models did you have on the table, Dan?
Oh God, it was low.
I want to say it was like
20,
15 or 16.
It was 20 something. Yeah.
Oh, 20?
Yeah.
All right. I'm surprised it was that many.
Yeah, it was definitely a Hero Hammer list for Empire, so it did not bring a lot of models.
He came over and he's like, "Here's my forces," and I swear you could have held it in one hand.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have big hands. I'm a big guy. So
True. People say this about you. Dan,
So yeah, we got
he's a great big man.
we got the boxes galore. It was recover supplies, supply drop, and
I felt
advance.
your fingerprints all over this one because I know you love both of these.
Oh, I love the boxes
so much.
And advanced positions, which of course I'm like, do I veto advanced? But the next one was hemmed in, which made it even worse for having a bunch of FDs who could just overlapping fire into my area. Jeff was blue and I was red because I was 800 even. He was 797.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even with advanced positions, though, getting to scout those FDs up, although the terrain on the table was a lot of blockers, but a lot of keyholes because there are a lot of gaps in between. It was
that's
your industrial
definitely some
table.
things I need to fix on my table. I need a little bit more line of sight blocking stuff. It's a really cool industrial board. It's a lot of it's from the Imperial terrain files that is 6+, 6 up. Yeah, those guys. I hadn't done that in a while. So. Hi, Keegan. That had printed out for me, and it looks cool. Just I need a little bit more place for people to hide, and then some scatter terrain.
Yeah, maybe a little area.
Scatter terrain. Yeah, little things out there. But he picked the bad corner as blue players.
No, I was red, so I got the good corner.
You got the good corner.
Yeah, because I had there was basically a piece of terrain. There was the center box, and there was a piece of terrain diagonally across his corner. His side of the board. So, although there were few keyholes in that piece of terrain, because most of the FDs could see Inferno behind it trying to pick up the box, just with heavy cover because of all the little keyholes. Yeah, I'd never brought out a silhouette more times in a game.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, it's a good thing we have that, but damn, it's not ideal.
So of course, I infiltrated on the center box. All the FDs shot. I didn't live, though, until turn 3, so I was impressed how far she lived.
Well,
considering
that's your
under
standards for excellence now, she can make it past turn 2.
Well, yes, because usually when she's infiltrating, she's just I want every gun on that woman.
More. Have you learned
is,
anything from these?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I've had a decent success doing these, so this is kind of my jam.
This is the thing.
Yeah, this thing that I do.
Yeah.
And Inferno is usually right behind her to pick up the box as soon as she drops it. So, hey, it's passing the baton. She gets it to my side of the field.
Freaking Willem Dafoe and Platoon,
Yes.
just throwing the box forward as shot to bits. Very sad, somber music plays.
I forgot to say this in the Disney news. Did you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
I did.
Yes. Okay.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
It's really good.
I was just reminded, grabbing the character who they're supposed to be grabbing.
Yes.
Anyway.
I was pleasantly surprised. But anyways.
Yes. So
back to your game.
So the BroBots though marched up and started pew-pewing things.
Yeah.
Of course, the additional fun on that was him playing the Echo Base 3 pip turn 1. So everything had a standby. Everything had.
And everybody was close enough to be shot by the FDs.
Oh, yeah. So I opened with IG-11, just gunslingering 2 of the forward Mark IIs just to shoot their standbys off.
That's a
so
beautiful
that
thing.
worked.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, it was a hail of standbys and lots of dice. Some inglorious moments. IG-11 died from full health to nothing with 1 roll because I had 5 results coming in and he rolled 5 surges and a blank. First defense roll.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's only got a white dice save. So.
No, he's a red dice save.
What?
Yes. If it were white dice, he would surge and defend. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, that's no luck, is it?
Yeah. So, yeah, I remember you coming by the table and going, Dan, do you have 5 models left on the table?
That was closer to the end.
Yeah.
But, yes,
that was
I
the
did
end.
make that little...
Yeah.
I was like,
And honestly, I would have probably had the game if not for that damn dirty airspeeder flying in the
true.
back.
Yeah.
And just taking my 2 snipers in the back. I forgot to mention I had 2 sniper squads.
Yes.
They were in the back holding my back 2 boxes while I and Inferno were running the main box back. And yeah, that made me drop the back boxes. Was that so? Hero of the Empire Becky went to go pick up another one, but then was promptly also splatted by an airspeeder.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It was very cinematic.
yes.
But yeah, once again, you have learned to fear and respect the T-47.
Oh God. Well, and not only did he have the T-47, but all 3 of his vet squads had astromechs. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we were discussing after the game. Like, you should probably drop a few of those astromechs to get some more other
Yeah.
upgrades.
Well,
you don't need 3.
So that's kind of how I used to run early on. Was I wanted I want to keep them repaired up. It's like
Yeah, but
they're
you have
gonna
2.
They're going to be gone. They're
Exactly.
going to be out doing things. They're not going to be around your astromechs.
So yeah,
usually.
so I put some early damage into it. He repaired it, and then it flew out of range, and he had 4 repairs still remaining across all of his astromechs still to use it.
Can you do that? No, you can. Can you do that on the FDs?
No, the FDs are troopers.
Okay, they are. Okay.
Yeah, so his only eligible target was the.
Wow, that's a lot of points tied up.
Yeah.
For
I agree. So dropping those astromechs maybe for extra guys,
Jeff,
or
make the change.
or,
Come on,
or some
bud.
for some upgrades. Yeah. What I'm getting out of this is maybe Imperial Hero Hammer isn't my jam, even though I love Iden. I'm looking at
That's a
Blizzard
lot
Force.
of character-heavy units you had
Yeah.
in there. You had Iden, you had Inferno
that's cool.
Squad, you had the 2 BroBots,
Had Becky,
and
then,
you had
yeah,
Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah,
So that
that's-
was most of it. I mean, I had 1 Shore Squad and 1 Storm Squad and then 1 mortar in the back, and that mortar did work actually. That mortar was dunking on people pretty hard.
I mean, how close everything was on the board. Yeah, I'm not shocked by that at all.
Yeah.
But it seemed like a fun game at least.
It was a game.
Yeah, the game definitely happened.
Speaking of games,
Yeah.
there were some games going on this weekend over at PAX Unplugged,
That's right. There
being
was
run by our good friends over at Legion 99. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Yep. And we were, well, at least I was keeping tabs
was
on
this
that.
the Nick Open?
Yes, the Nick Bodnar Open.
Yes, that's right.
Completely all the tables provided by Nick Bodnar.
Praise be his name.
Yep. I believe he mentioned, though, he's not going to be able to make a LVO, so I'm sad
What? No.
about that. He mentioned that on one of his casts, so we may have to confirm that with him later on when we get closer to LVO. And
Can we construct some sort of hollow communications thing in the hall so we can just have his presence looming over all the tables that I'm sure he's supplying?
We'll have to see in 54 days at LVO when that happens.
You squirrely guy,
Yep.
you.
But like I said, I was following along at PAX with the new tournament software that's being developed by our good friend Keegan and Jay Shalansky. That is the Game Uplink at GameUplink.com.
And this is replacing the
The TT.to or
TTO something.
yeah.
The one that we used to use before
yeah,
that.
and unfortunately had to shut down because the person running it could not run it anymore.
I didn't realize it was that small of an operation.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I mean, it was used by so many people, so
yeah,
I'm
no
surprised.
kidding.
So yeah, it's still in its beta phase, the Game Uplink, and we wanted to have someone on to talk about it, who's working with it, but all of them happen to be at PAX at this moment,
Yes.
so some bad
I
timing
think
on
he
there.
made
But
it to every other show.
Yeah.
I think he even went on some X-Wing podcast to talk about
yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
not us.
not just X-Wing, but
message.
MCP podcasts.
Oh, wow.
And those Shatterpoint podcasts
rounds.
that haven't started yet.
Yeah. He even went to the Shatterpoint. Wow, Keegan, ouch. All right. This wound will not heal.
Yeah, so congratulations, Keegan, though, being 17th.
Of 18?
Wow.
No.
I think they had 56 players, if I remember correctly.
That's awesome.
So they had quite a turnout over there.
Yeah, I saw he was, we were talking, he was 2-1 on day one.
On day one, yep. Yeah. So let me, hold on, pulling up GameUplink.com right now just to double check.
Wow.
And
that's so nice that you're using GameUplink.com.
Yes. He is 3-2. And thanks to us being on the West Coast and them being on the East Coast, they have completed their final game. Yeah,
they just finished up. That's cool. What do our final finalists look
so
like?
Winner was Kyle D. Doesn't have a last name in here,
That's
but
got to
D.
be Dornbos.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Playing Empire and playing Blizzard Force.
Blizzard Force.
Yeah. Kyle, where is it? Keegan, we got to talk about looking up lists based off that, because you got to go to a different tab and then you got to scroll down, and they're not in the same order as they are in there. Okay.
Wow.
But I know it's beta.
Really?
They said they're still working on features anyway on that. So
maybe put that in an email. Send it on.
Well,
over
when
to
I can tell him next time he comes on the cast. So Keegan.
Oh, he's not coming on the cast.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Has Becky with Operative Vader, 2 Heavy Response Team Storms, 2 Naked Snows, 4 speeder bikes, each with an emergency transponder.
Wow.
All for 776 points. Bids are getting big now again.
They're getting big again.
Hopefully the supposed points update that'll be coming later this month will
the alleged points update,
which was announced on on Facebook on an X-Wing post, and somebody from FFG said, "Oh yeah, it's coming in December, so coming soon, hopefully."
December.
Yeah, it's December.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing it soon, though, because that's the one thing I do love about Legion is when the points update and it just becomes Wild West.
Yep.
And if it's going to be coming, late December, hey, that's going to make LVO a real fun, real fun setup of like.
Oh gosh,
you're not going to be able to tell what's going to be going on there.
When's Worlds happening too? Isn't that March?
That's in. Oh, I should put that on the calendar. Yep.
All right. Note for next time.
Yep. So yeah, and then the other. Where is it? When we get back to the.
Are you not going to Worlds?
I'm not going to Worlds.
Okay. All right.
I think John has an invite, but
he does, but he's not going to Worlds either.
Yeah.
Bastard.
He got that 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Top 4, 3 Empire and a Republic. I mean, the Empire we expected, but a Republic, yeah. So
did we? Did we expect the Empire?
We didn't. Well, Blizzard Force is kind of running roughshod over everything right now.
That's fair.
So first place was Blizzard Force. Second place was Operative Vader, and IG-88. That's an interesting list.
I like that.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Third place, another Blizzard Force. Fourth place, let me pull up the Republic here.
But I think one of the big upsets we saw was the highest placing droid.
Oh yeah,
was what, 22nd?
Let me see here. So highest placing Rebels was 7th.
Okay.
Highest placing Shadow Collective was 8th.
Okay.
And droids is 22nd. So, man, droids have really...
I guess people got what they wanted out of them and said, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, well, I know Pikes, which is kind of the natural predator to what droids have been doing lately with their spider droids.
True.
Have kind of pushed them down a peg. But, man, speaking of points adjustments, everyone's expecting droids to get hit pretty hard on points adjustments. So if they're in a lower place right now, man, I can't see them... Yikes.
Are we going to have a double nerf Gark situation again? Or
hopefully, I hope they aren't going down to Republic when it was at its low. That would kind of suck.
Points increases and
we have here in Vegas, our local community, we have a lot of droid players.
Yeah, but there's some really fun, interesting, solid lists out there.
Oh yeah, the Battle Force
one with a bunch of B2s in it.
The Battle Force is crazy. 8 B2s, a tank, and a T series is no joke. I've faced a few of those, and they definitely chew up infiltrators for breakfast because.
There's just too much for you to handle.
Exactly.
In those kind of situations. Yeah, that's too much.
So
come back later.
I'm sure we'll get a lot more deep dives into all the stuff going on at PAX. From those podcasts who do the super competitive deep dive stuff. So, but we are not.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, that's not us.
But yeah, so yeah, definitely check out Game Uplink if you're doing a local event. It's a great tool for that.
You talking about GameUplink.com?
Game.
Okay.
Yes, if you Google Game Uplink, you'll get an old Steam game from like the early 2000s. It was a hacker game called Uplink.
Okay.
So, which I actually played back in the day. I actually enjoyed it. But anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah, brought back some memories when I'm like, oh, let me Google that. And I'm like, oh, hey, Uplink. I haven't played that in years. But anyway.
There you go.
So Keegan or Jay, if you want to come on the show and promote it in another place, another podcast, definitely give us a shout out.
We should also put that in an email.
Well, they listen to the show. Maybe not Jay. I don't know if he listens to any shows other than. I don't even think he listens to his own. I mean, that's kind of the joke.
Shows,
but yeah.
So.
Oh wow.
Okay. Anyways, okay. I hope everybody had fun out there at PAX. But
yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back with the Empire tier list.
Mm-hmm.
Dum bum bum. Hey guys, Matt here to tell you about our friends over at 6 Up Supply. If you're like me and don't have access to your own 3D printers, 6 Up Supply has you covered with a whole suite of printing services to bring those awesome files to life. The Outriders are proud to be partnered with 6 Up, and you could find special themed terrain, gear, and tokens with a big discount for Patreon members in the Outrider Central section of the website. And that's not all. You can also get terrain bases, game supplies, tools, LED kits, and more. Stuff is being added all the time. So stop by the number 6upsupply.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER to save 10% on your next order, and let them help you up your game.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. Matt and Dan back here with you. And something I hope is going to become a tradition here. I like these kind of things. I watch them on YouTube all the time, and I thought, hey, maybe it's time we did one too. But tier list. We've got Dan with his experience with the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And
hopefully as soon as we get guests on in the future, we can ask them their tier list.
Do a tier list. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, these are all completely factual.
Yes, they're scientifically proven.
Yes, they're. You can think that Dan is mistaken about something, but I assure you, you are wrong. But if you want to double down on how wrong you are, that's fine. Hey, jump over on the Discord, on the Facebook, and post up what your tier list would look like for this. So specifically, we're going to be looking at the Empire with the leadership, the characters,
the commanders,
and the commanders,
operatives.
The operatives.
We waffled a little on whether or not we want to include mercenaries. So as for this first trial one, we're just going to do pure faction only.
Yes, and in that vein, these picks are not going to be compared against other. So we're not like, in relation to the rebels, I think this guy. No, it's just going to be against other Imperials internally there. Maybe we'll do a super one at the end. Who knows if we get all the way through all the other factions. But we did it starting with. Well, Dan did it. Again, I'm going to be reacting here. So starting at C, going all the way up to S, so CBAS. And let's go ahead and kick it off. Who's our first C-tier loser, Dan?
Because if you're not first or last,
it's
the Ricky Bobby rules right here, right?
Well, it's Imperial. They're all losers. So. All right. Who did you?
Man.
Somebody obviously has to be at the bottom.
Yeah, and
which is the one you reluctantly put in there.
And we could have done D tier, but I don't think any of these actually fit in D tier. I mean, they're all
good. I mean, that's a good thing. Yes. You don't want to be an absolute dog.
I've got 2 in C tier.
Okay. Well,
and I'm sad to say that the one of the C tier ones is our good boy Papa Palpatine.
Palps in C.
Yeah,
I did not see that coming. A surprise, but an unwelcome one to be sure.
Palp, he is very high. He is high ceiling.
He's always been very high skill cap kind
but
of
he is also very high floor. Yes. So, so for the average player picking it up, if you're going buying your Blizzard Force Battle Force box when they're available, and a starter kit, I don't recommend starting with Palps. I mean, like I said, he is strong, but I know we're not
He's
comparing other
fragile.
faction. Yeah, he is very fragile.
Yeah.
Like every wound he takes off of his effectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are going to run him, run Guardian, load up Royal Guards. I mean, that's why he's got Royal Guards as his retinue. Not his retinue, I'm sorry. God, I am blanking on keywords tonight.
Oh, geez. Now it's spreading over here now.
Yes. Now we're going to be yelled at.
Retinue,
anyway,
whatever it is. Escort
yeah.
is.
Yeah, so bring Royal Guards, bring medics. Literally, one of the PAL players who ran it previously, because none of our current locals run PAL, but our previous people have run PAL. Literally, will run 3 Stormtrooper squads with just medics in them, just to follow behind him.
I mean, yeah, if you can't wheel out the back to tank, that's the next best thing.
Well, I mean, we don't. Legion games are long enough. We don't have enough time for flashbacks and back to tanks anymore. So that is PAL. Definitely bring the guards, bring the medics, and basically just ball up everything behind him to roll him forward.
Yeah. Let's see.
I know you're looking up the keyword right now.
I gotta know. Now. Pull the strings. Okay. So he's fragile, but obviously he's got some really powerful command cards. And I love pull the strings. It's so good.
Yes, no, his command cards are good. Entourage. Yes.
Just saw it. Damn it.
I was pulling up too.
That HBO show from the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Oh yeah. So his command cards are good. I mean, compared to, and I know we said we weren't comparing it to other factions yet, but his 3-pip is a little lackluster compared to some other ones out there.
He was a very early commander expansion, though. Wasn't
Yes, he was the third. It was Vader, Veers, then Emperor.
Yeah.
After that, and then of course they had a operative Boba Fett in there too. But yeah, he's again very high skill. Mm-hmm. So if you're good at controlling the battlefield and keeping him out of sight until you can just jump into the middle. I mean, burst of speed does help too.
Yeah,
that as well.
Yeah, that's
just jump. I mean, yeah, we're all thinking the episode 3 spin
from a prone.
I'll try spinning
1080 spin. Yeah. Like an
so that is my one of my 2 C tier lists.
Okay, I mean, I think that's harsh but fair, Dan.
Yeah. So my second C tier, and this hurts me because this was one of my favorite commanders out.
Don't say it.
It's Veers.
It's Veers. Damn it, I knew it.
And we'll talk more later when we do talk about the generic Becky.
Yeah.
But he's essentially Becky plus.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's Becky with better keywords and slightly better stats for a higher price, though.
Okay, but what if you really want to run vehicles?
Then you don't run Veers.
Really?
You just run the
I have so many fond memories for like the first year or two that I was
2-pip is one of the worst
Empire. Yeah,
one of the worst command cards.
But
like the generic
generics.
the generic 2-pip pinned down is leagues better than evasive maneuvers. Like yeah,
it wasn't good. It's not great.
Yeah. Now again, his 3-pip amazing. His bombard is good. I mean, it's not quite as good as the Blizzard Force Bombard, but yeah,
he is Blizzard Force.
He is Blizzard Force. But problem is, there is no competitive Blizzard Force list out there that uses him, which makes me sad because I love him. I have the full art promo card for him. I actually, as part of my Patreon to our local game store, they make a custom card for you with your own face on it. I had that same card made with my face on it, so I want to use Veers, but right now he's just not in a good place.
You can't even just hand out aims, Like,
I mean, he does. That's all he does, hand out aims. But
fair.
problem is
you can do that for cheaper elsewhere.
You can do that for cheaper with Becky, unfortunately.
It makes me so sad, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes the C tier.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on up in the world. What does Bravo tier?
Bravo tier.
B is in Blizzard. What is that?
Blizzard. And as much, well, speaking of B, Ben Mendelsohn, Krennic.
Oh yes. Hey, that was nice. That was very good.
Krennic. Yeah.
Bravo. Okay.
Yeah. He does have the best 2-pip in the game. Pop 2 standbys on 2 units.
Yeah.
Like
that's
amazing.
Nice. Yeah.
But he leans into the suppression thing with his 3-pip, and suppression isn't
not quite what it
was right now.
He has also Entourage.
Yes, he has Entourage. Oh God, we're gonna get so many comments about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Death Troopers are not in the place that they need to be as well. At least in my opinion, they're a little bit lower tier. So at least not
I
compared
think we're
to...
just seeing a lot of suffering from the early wave units.
Yeah,
I think.
the tier.
Obviously, the designers have gotten more nuanced, and I don't want to say power creep at all because I think the stuff feels good now. Just the older stuff doesn't feel as good by comparison. They're a little bit clunkier. But
yeah, I mean, there's some newer keywords that could have benefited if they were retroactively applied to some. Like, I think we really need a refresh on the tier. I don't think we need to have a Legion 2.0, but like a second edition kind of thing. Edition?
I wonder how tough that would be to like redo. I mean, that's basically what a 2.0 though is.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess if you're not redoing the rules,
unless they just did a card pack, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean they've been doing card packs. I mean the I know we're not talking mercenaries, but the mercenaries did get all the bounty hunters got a refresh thanks to the mercenary rules.
That's a good point.
I mean, there's some minor precedent.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, and I mean, so
we're sending Veers back to the academy, and he's picking up some new moves.
Yeah, but I mean, Krennic has some use.
He's got a sweet cape.
He's got a sweet cape. He does. If you want to bring one squad of Death Troopers, maybe. I mean,
why not? They look cool.
Yeah, they look cool. I mean, yeah, the old Rogue One list that I ran back in LVO 2020, which was Krennic, Death Troopers, Shores, Mortars, the whole
classic
thing.
list.
Good.
That's still one of my all-time. That is quintessential Dan list when I think about it. Yeah.
I did love him too, and unfortunately, just with everything the way it's currently laid out, it's not quite as
well.
useful.
Still, B isn't that bad.
Yeah. Speaking of B2, Darth Vader Commander version.
Really?
Yes.
Because I remember when we were first previewing the operative. Oh, the Commander version.
Version, yes.
Okay. I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah. Okay. Commander version.
Now, he did get a bit of a refresh.
Yeah.
With a new compel. It's just the operative version is so much better than him right now and pushing him out. And with the being slower, because the operative version getting the... Well, we'll get to the operative version later. Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Vader's competing against Vader right now.
And
unfortunately, a younger, more successful him. Yeah.
I don't know, more successful, but he's filled with more vigor and drive and hatred.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the compel is good if you're bringing lots of core. The problem is with Empire, lots of core is not really an archetype that works right now. I mean, he has amazing command cards, but they also work for the other Vader. It's hard to talk about this without comparing to the other Vader.
Yeah. Well, maybe we have to a little bit.
He's a little expensive, and like I said, burst of speed helps, but he is a little, with just the one speed.
But he's got more stats. To get up there.
Well, he has one more health.
Doesn't he have more lightsaber too?
One more lightsaber, but tenacity kind of shores that up. But yeah. If you're gonna run him, like Palpatine, bring the medics, bring a whole bunch of medics, and just follow him with medics, just topping him off as you go in. I mean, once he's buried, once he's in the lines, yes, he is a monster. It's the problem is getting there.
Yeah, because people know to stay away from him.
Yeah,
and it's pretty easy to do overall.
Right, and even with the Vader copter idea. Yeah. The operative is better. Yeah. So that's my other B is Vader. I always say amazing command cards. He's just competing against himself at this point.
All right, well, we're done with Darth Vader.
No.
Do we have any more B tier there?
Last B tier is my boy Callus. I do like Callus.
I know. You just don't hear much about him.
No, he's just overshadowed by everything, and he's just sitting there like, the last person picked it. Dodgeball now. He actually does have
his mutton chops.
He does have some play in double bounty hunter lists because of contingencies.
Well, I'm just glad that Josh is dead and not here to hear about.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. He's fine.
He's fine. He's not dead to us, Josh.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, no, we do love the glorious mutton chops. But again, his stats are a little undertuned compared to everything else going on right now. Like I said,
I'm already getting waves of what your S tier might be.
Yeah.
Little wavy spider sense lines are coming off of me. All right. Anyways.
So yeah, like I said, his 2-pip is amazing. His other command cards are okay. His 1-pip not so much, but just the contingencies, and really having the only Imperial character with a flaw. His flaw is kind of the least impactful. It doesn't really hurt him that much.
Yeah.
So no, he's a good solid mid-tier. Just kind of
nothing
overshadowed.
special.
Nothing special other than contingencies.
Probably isn't going to lose you the game.
Yeah.
But there might be better choices.
Right. So I just wish he were a little cheaper to fit in more with those double bounty hunter lists.
He is kind of expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. At least for what he does, because he's even less effectual without his bow rifle and staff. That's kind of a stapled card to him, and that just brings his cost up a little bit higher than what would be
feels comfortable.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, that wraps up the B tier.
Yep. So
following
A tier.
A tier.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we're looking at some all stars here.
Yeah. Darth Vader operative.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, we've kind of talked a little bit about it, but
Yep.
He's just a leaner, meaner,
hungrier, fresh off the coals of Mustafar.
I mean, after their last refresh, getting the speed 2 instead of spur.
Still smells like bacon wrapped in leather.
Leathery burnt bacon.
Sorry, I've completely derailed you.
Yes.
But, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's leaner, meaner, a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Yes, one less health. Yes, one less die. You throw tenacity on him because he's got the training
But
upgrades.
he can actually close the gap a little bit
But he can close the
easier.
gap a little bit easier, especially with burst of speed, because he drops down to 1 instead of dropping to 0 and being stuck there.
He's still got a lot of
those
lightsaber.
those training slots really help him though, because both tenacity and into the fray, just getting those surge tokens to shore up the fact he doesn't surge for anything, are really useful on him. So
it seemed very thematically appropriate too.
And since both him and the commander version can access the same command cards, and all of Vader's command cards,
that is one
amazing.
of my favorite things in Legion right now, is that if you've got same name, different characters, or different named characters of the same kind. I'm explaining this part, but you can move the command cards back and forth, and he definitely benefits there.
No, except for Shadow Collective Maul, but
womp womp.
Womp womp. Yeah. But yeah, Darth Vader operative. He's a solid choice, and he is the centerpiece of a lot of lists out there.
Yeah,
including
the one that just
Blizzard
won.
Force. Yeah, Blizzard Force has it. My previous LVO list from last year, which was Iden and Operative Vader. So yeah,
smooth operators.
Yeah, smooth. So yeah, and of course you still want to bring a little Guardian with him. It doesn't hurt to throw a medic on there.
Little short guy.
Yeah,
with
little
him.
guy. Yeah. So for A tier, he's definitely a solid choice, and he makes it into a lot of lists on there.
Yeah, no, that seems like a very, very good placement for him. Who else do we have in A tier?
My boo, Iden.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Do you have an S tier?
Yes, I have an S tier.
Wow. Okay. I'm shocked. My
Iden,
spider senses were tingling for the wrong thing, I guess.
Yeah. Like Operative Vader, she is also the centerpiece of a lot of lists right now. I mean,
I'm
honestly,
so glad you could be objective
Yes.
about this and take your very favorite piece in the game and say, she's good, but she's not that good. That hurt you a little to hear. Yeah.
How dare you? Anyway, but I honestly think the reason she's excelling in this current environment, and of course, I don't know if we didn't preface this, that this is pre-points adjustment, so I'm sure when points do come
in
out
2 or 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, this whole list is just upended, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Oh well, we get to do it again.
Yeah. But anyway, the main reason she's excelling now is her access to her sniper rifle, because pikes are the big boogeyman right now. So anything with high velocity is really going to excel in that, and that's the one reason why she is taken in a lot of lists nowadays, is just fulfilling the commander, even though she isn't a state commander, and having a high velocity weapon is really what's keeping her great right now. And of course, I love all the shenanigans she can do.
Yes.
But just as a big meta overview picture.
Even though you probably kill her more than any other model.
Yeah, probably, because I thought. But she gets it. She gets it done.
Fair. All right.
And yes, I have one S tier.
So we're done with the A and we're just straight into the S?
Yes,
all right.
So that
what
is Becky. Generic Imperial
we
Officer.
Didn't talk about... Wow.
Yeah. She just a combination of low cost, fulfilling your commander requirement, being able to throw out aims, the Inspire. Like, even though she doesn't have command cards, there are more lists that take the generic officer.
So clearly we need to nerf the Imperial Officer.
Not nerf.
Wow.
We need to boost all these other
the
ones to bring
real
up.
backbone of the Empire.
Oh, the real backbone? Yeah. No, I've said before, Becky is the hero of the Empire. She was last LVO when I used her. She is.
Better than Palpatine.
When you
Better than
way.
Vader. Better than mutton chops.
She fits into so many lists.
You're right.
And just enables so many. If you want double bounty hunter, you got to bring someone to carry that Underworld Connections.
Yeah.
And who's carrying that? That's Becky.
Yeah, that's fair. No, and I've talked about this a lot with the Rebel officer, the counterpart. And yeah, it's just the flexibility to have room for the other parts of your list that you want to kind of focus on a bit more. So
yeah, so low cost, she fulfills a necessary requirement. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Empire love aims.
Yeah,
throw an electro binocular on her, and she's like,
nothing fancy. Does what she says on the tin.
So like Veers is Becky plus. I know she's supposedly Veers light, but honestly,
you're not missing much.
She's not missing much. Going, yeah, she has a lesser defense die. Yes, sure, weapon is shorter range. Yeah, she has one less health, but it's like, for what you get for that difference in point cost is just allows you to do so much more with the rest of your list.
Wow. Yep. Okay. Well, there it is. Your complete C-through S tier list again, which cannot be argued.
Yes. Tell me how I'm wrong, please.
But you're not wrong. Obviously.
I'm talking to our listener.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, bud. Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot now, though.
Okay.
Now, there are bounty hunters that work for multiple factions. Mm-hmm. We do have the list of them here. And I'm going to go down, and you tell me, just shooting from the hip.
Okay.
What do you think? Where do you think they would fit on that archetype?
On the
tier list.
Tier list, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to go crazy with it, but we'll start with our good friend, the Black Sun Vigo.
B.
B, really?
Because Black Suns, you don't take a lot of them, and if you do take them, you're probably putting one of them in the squad. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's necessary to have the Vigo leading.
But you would rate it as high as B, though.
As B, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Speaking of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Ooh, A or S. He is the best bounty hunter for Empire right now. I mean, he is he's a scalpel. Mm-hmm. You have to use him very carefully. You don't just beat stick, throw him out there, and have everything shoot at him.
So maybe a super solid A plus or something.
I'd say A plus if we're allowing pluses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because it has that high skill.
Yeah, and since he's the only merc that is Empire only, he technically could have fallen on our main list, but since he was Empire only, but still technically a mercenary.
The next B bounty hunter, Bangar. No, Bosk.
As the community calls him, Boosk. Yeah. He's also pretty good. I'd give him.
He's good.
He's A or A minus. Yeah, I mean he's good as a relatively inexpensive bounty hunter that you can keep further back, because he just wants to sit back and just lob at range 4.
Yeah. Hit that Relby.
Relby. Yeah, exactly, and double attack with his 2 pip, and then sit there with a billion aims on his 3 pips. So, high B, low A.
Okay. Next to the new boy on the block, I know we haven't gotten a whole lot of playtime in with him, but Din, where do you think he's fitting in?
Din? I've only gotten a game and a half with him in. Yeah. You have to load him up on so many upgrades that his point cost just balloons. Mm-hmm. So compared to, you can run Boba pretty lean.
Yeah.
But Din, you've got to load up. So I just don't think he's been figured out yet.
Okay. So
and he's not he hasn't been showing up in a lot of competitive stuff yet. So.
tier?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him B.
Wow.
I'm gonna give him B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Din in the bin. Got it. Okay. Who else we got here?
Cad
we got.
Bane?
Did we skip?
You
We did
skipped
skip
Cad
Cad Bane.
Bane, yeah.
I'm sorry, Cad Bane. I forgot.
Yep.
He is Empire.
Yeah. I'm C. He's doesn't fit in with what Empire wants to do at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, even in.
This is
even
not to
in
say he may
CIS,
not
yeah.
be magic in CIS, but I don't think he is.
I don't think he is. Yeah. No. I mean, he's not bad, but he just
He's
yeah.
Cad.
He's Cad.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Again, he's probably a little bit higher skill cap because playing around with his face down tokens, being able to play that shell game of I'm over here now. I'm over here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, sure.
Play peekaboo.
Yeah. No. C. He's C.
Okay.
C for
All right.
Cad.
All right, and then down to the IGs. I know
IG,
which one you favor.
88
Yeah.
is definitely. It works a lot better in Empire than 11 does. Not having the AI is useful, though he still wants a command token a lot thanks to his permanent cards and getting that aim all the time. And then, yeah. So no, he's definitely, he's an A. He's definitely an A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense that most of the bounty hunters would be kind of up near that top end since they just got redone. Sorry, Cad. But, okay. And then, so maybe a little
And
bit
then
lower
11,
than
I'd
11.
go B. Because you have to get that. I mean, having the extra pierce is nice, but in shooting with him, I found that just having Gunslinger with only a 3-die pool as opposed to 88's 6-die pool with Arsenal, he just, even with that extra pierce, he still doesn't quite do as much damage numbers as 88 does.
Do you think it might work better in another faction, or is it just
In
is that
Rebels,
going to be a?
That's a good question. We'll have to ask once we can get a.
Okay. So this is strictly from the Imperial point of
perspective.
view,
Yeah, I
from
mean
a
that's
certain point of view.
Yeah.
And then finishing on the lowly, the
Pike Syndicate.
horrible, yes, the
Yeah,
Pike Syndicate Capo.
S tier right now because Pikes. If you can fit Pikes in your army,
S tier,
yeah,
right up
But,
there with Imperial Becky Legend.
Asterisk if you have Pikes in your army.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you don't just
take
throw him in by himself.
I took 2 of them and a bunch of stormtroopers, and I'm not winning games. What's up with that?
So yeah, if you because Pikes love aim, love dodges. He's going to give more dodges. He's just going to make Pikes do what they do better.
Yes, yeah, it doubles down on their strengths.
Which is interesting that the Black Sun Vigo doesn't do that because usually Pikes, you also throw the Capo in the Pike squad, and then you have another Pike on the side, a Pike Capo on the side. It's for some reason that works out better for Pikes than it does for Black Sun.
Okay.
Just because dodges are always great on that.
Yeah,
so.
no, they're really good. But okay, I think you defended your point of views very well, Dan. Everybody give him a round of applause. Hey, Dan. Yeah. Or don't. You probably driving
our
right now.
pre-recorded, not studio audience.
But no, I understand your reasoning and I like them. But if you have some insight, perhaps that Dan should consider, stop on by the Facebook page and say, hey, what about this thing? Or I like to do this guy, and I think you should reevaluate. But it won't matter because you're wrong. I'm just kidding. It's a fun little discussion.
Yes.
Obviously, there is. Don't take these to the bank because apparently the points are going to change here in like any day now.
Yeah. So I'm sure by the time this episode goes out, the points update will hit. But we'll see.
I would say take it with a grain of salt, but you should really be watching your sodium. Anyways. But thank you, everyone. That's going to do it for this week, this episode, and we appreciate you tuning in. If you have any news, we haven't gotten any news from people about events or things going on, so feel free to hit us up with any news, questions, or if you have feedback, you can email us at legionoutriders@gmail.com. Stop on by the Facebook page with your tier list, Facebook/Legion Outriders, or you can find us out in the world, Dan. Where can they find you?
And here we thought Facebook was going to go down first, but apparently it's Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitter. Yeah.
But I am Outrider_Dan or DanTech on the Discord, and also hanging out in your Twitch streams.
Thank you. Yes, which you can find at twitch.tv/Captain_Archer, playing an assortment of space games and other things, whatever. And you can still find me on Twitter for the moment at GRN_Archer. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time with a really cool episode.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is